when I was 21.
What's going on, guys? Koogs46 here, back with another MLB The Show 17 news video. Today was the Little Things live stream on Twitch, and man, it was actually a pretty big live stream. They went through a lot of stuff, so we gotta get going, man. This may be a little bit of a longer video, but we gotta cover most of this stuff, and it was a good one. So strap in, guys. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing I talked about is the new Universal Profile overhaul. We knew this was coming. They have been talking about it a little bit. They showed a little bit in previous live streams and stuff, but now we've got a full look at what we can actually expect in the Universal Profile. They wanted to make it so it's very customizable. They had a really heavy focus on customization this year with all the new creative player and customization for that, so they wanted to also implement that into your Universal Profile. So now they have like calling cards and emblems similar to the way Call of Duty does it, where you have like a calling card and an emblem on your player card. They're gonna have the same thing. So there's different emblems you can choose, like team emblems, like, so mine will probably be the Angels. There's obviously little like smiley faces, there's little other things hidden around there, and the titles you have, you can get anything from the head-to-head seasons that you've gotten into, or they have a Ken Griffey one. So it's kind of all over the place, but is a really cool customization tool for your own profile. Also, when you're playing an online game, your opponent's player card is actually going to show up in the top right as opposed to just their PSN name. It's going to actually show their title and emblem in that. Next up, they showed some stats of some new legends coming into the game. Both of these legends that they showed, we actually knew were going to be in the game. They showed Luis Aparicio last week on the Diamond Dynasty deep dive stream, but they didn't show his stats. They just kind of gave a little tease that he was there, but here are his stats. He's a very big speed, very big fielding guy, not a great hitter. And then the other card they showed is Jason Giambi. We already knew he was coming in from the reveal trailer that they did, but now we finally got to look at his stats. He's a good hitter against righties, absolutely kills right-handed pitching, but other than that, not a great card. He's like an 87 overall gold. This would be a really good BR card, but not necessarily one that you would want to draft off the bat, and we'll get into that a little bit more later. They also showcased every jersey from every team that's coming into the game. Now, I'm not gonna show you guys all these jerseys right now. That would just take way too long. That would make this video way longer than it needs to be. We might do our own separate video on that, but if you do want to see them right now, you can go to the Twitch Sony San Diego Studio channel, and you can watch the past live stream, and you can see them going through every single jersey. So that will be linked in the description. Make sure you go check that out. Make sure you watch that whole stream anyway. If there's anything I'm missing here, you guys will be able to hear everything in the stream, and that way you're getting it directly from the source. So make sure you guys go support them too. Another thing they added is Jumbotrons are more accurate to their real life counterparts. So though I've always noticed that the one in Anaheim is pretty accurate, and I haven't been to that many stadiums, but apparently some of the Jumbotrons in the game were not accurate enough to the actual real life Jumbotron scoreboard. So now they have gotten the resources they need, and they have pretty much made it a direct replica of how the Jumbotrons look. They also added a bunch of new save file slots. You guys can see a ton of new spots for rosters, more spots for Road to the Show, more spots for franchise and seasons and stuff like that. So if that's something you guys have been, worried about, plenty of memory for you this time around. Okay, guys, here's going to be a very controversial topic, and I'm not even totally 100% sure how I feel about it. I'm more to the side of that I like it, but I understand the frustration. So there's a lot of times when you're going into a game online in Diamond Dynasty and you see that the guy is throwing a left-handed pitcher, and sometimes, especially in BR, your draft doesn't necessarily favor you for a left-handed pitcher. You have you have some good left-handed power on there, but they don't hit left-handed pitching as well, stuff like that. So you would have a lot of people backing out if they saw a left-handed pitcher or just something that didn't match their matchup. Well, now when you go into a game, you are not going to be able to see the handedness of the opposing pitcher. That's right, when you're setting up your lineup, you're going to have to set it as balanced as possible, because you're going to have no idea if you're going to be facing a lefty or a righty going into the game. Like I said, I'm not I don't love this, but I do understand why they did it, but I also totally understand the frustration that a lot of people are expressing on Twitter. It does take a realism aspect away. Teams plan to face a righty or a lefty 2 or 3 days at least before they go into their next game. They plan out what the rotations are. They see, all right, we're going to have a righty this day, so we need to make sure our dudes are up and healthy. So it kind of takes away that whole aspect for Diamond Dynasty players. You're really just guessing. It's like, I have no idea if I'm facing a lefty or a righty. But at the end of the day, that means you have to draft a more balanced team in BR. That means you have to have a really solid balanced lineup when you're going into head-to-head seasons. So you can't draft for just one specific scenario. You have to be ready for multiple things coming at you, or you're just not going to play, because, you know, the more you back out, it's not going to help. You're not ever going to be able to see the player or the pitcher that you're facing up against. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that in the comments, because like I said, that's going to be a very controversial one. So next thing is that they said your team's overall is going to affect your rating. So they gave the example, all right, your team is a 500, or your 500 rating. Your team is a 90 overall, so that's going to give you 155 extra bonus points. I don't know how that system works, not 100% sure, but the higher overall your team has, it's going to have a more positive effect on your Diamond Dynasty rating. They gave us a little bit of information on BR as well. Basically, you have no idea the rewards you're going to get in BR in MLB The Show 16. You go in there, when you see your 12-game reward, dude, you could be anything from a 99 Beltron to a 91 Hunter Pence or a 91 David Freese or anything between. You have no idea what that reward is going to be. Now, they're going to have monthly rewards. So if you look on the screen right now, these are some of the rewards you can get in April. So they have Verlander on there. They have Johnny Bench on there. These are just some of the rewards you can possibly get. So hopefully these are some really highly rated cards, because there's no point in playing Battle Royale if there's not going to be any high cards that you can possibly acquire. They also showed us more missions, guys. We got a ton of missions in the Diamond Dynasty stream that we were revealed to, and now they have brought out even more. So we knew of like the exchange missions, we knew of the, you know, program missions and all that type of stuff, but now we've got player spotlight missions where you have to do stuff with a specific player. You have daily missions, you have career missions. Those are going to be like the stats, like hit this many home runs, drive in this many runs, all those type of things. They also showed a category called epic missions. Now, they didn't really, they were kind of, you know, shady about this, not shady, but they were kind of like keeping this on the down low. They were saying like these are not going to be very straightforward missions, so it's not going to be as easy as just getting Joe Mauer's rookie card and then unlocking his prime through that. Like, they're going to have more to it, but they didn't give us too much. But these are probably going to be some really dope rewards, so hopefully we start learning about these soon. We also have different missions for head-to-head seasons, for BR, for events, for conquests, for playing against a CPU, and for friendly games. So guys, one of the last things I want to talk about is bunting. If you were seeing the stream, or if you've seen any of my video recaps, you guys know that the bunting, they keep saying it's harder, they keep saying it's been fixed, but we still have not seen any video evidence of that. Well, now we got finally some sort of hope. We saw some good additions, or some good subtractions, I should say, to the bunting. So here's what Ramon said. If you have a bad bunter at the plate, so Miguel Cabrera, David Ortiz, even though David Ortiz is retired, you know, I'm just saying. If you have a bad bunter up at the plate, somebody who has no business bunting, every time they try to bunt, it's gonna be right to a guy. So we saw examples here in the stream of them hitting a bunt directly to the first baseman. There was none of that in between first and second, you know, fast enough to get past the pitcher, but short enough not to get the second baseman up close. And the more they try to do that over time, it's gonna get even harder and harder for them to get that bunt down. Now, speed threat guys like Billy Hamilton, those type of dudes are still gonna be able to bunt pretty well, because that's kind of their bread and butter. They're not necessarily the best hitters, but they have a tool with their speed and their ability to beat out hits, and that is probably what they're going to be used for still. So look out for the speed guys, but bunting should be pretty much better than it was in MLB 16. I don't really see how you get any worse, so we're good looking there. Last thing guys, they showed off some gameplay, just some raw gameplay of some new animations and stuff in the new Shea Stadium, one of the new classic stadiums coming to the game. You guys can see around here as they get multiple hits and stuff, turn some double plays. Shea Stadium looks pretty good, so pretty pumped to be able to play a couple games there. But there you guys go. That's my recap of the Little Things live stream. Like I said, there are some things I did not cover in here. They kind of touched on Challenge of the Week. They kind of touched on some other stuff. They showed off the new jerseys. You guys can go look at those in there, so make sure you go check out their live stream. But guys, what did you think of this live stream? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think of the new changes? Specifically, what do you think of the not showing the handiness of the pitcher before the game? I really would like to know. But anyway guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the like button down underneath this video. Make sure you guys subscribe so you never miss any more MLB The Show 17 news updates. And guys, that's all I have for you today, so I hope you enjoyed, and until the next video, I will see you later.